I want to start the number one pick. If you're the Titans, what do you do?
Man, it's a tough one. I've gone back and forth on the quarterback thing for them. I mean, I feel like they just did this with Will Levis, albeit in the second round, a guy that's kind of like, we'll see. Not so sure that he's a slam dunk. I think Cam Ward's a better prospect there, but it's also kind of like, they're not a good team. They're not in a good situation. Brand new GM. You're starting from scratch a little bit. I'm not sure that I go Cam Ward there if I can't trade out of it. But the one trick I would lean towards Abdul Carter, but the one trick there is with his foot. I'd have to get that cleared completely. But my gut there says Abdul Carter at 1 for Tennessee, but it wouldn't shock me if they go quarterback.
So they're not a quarterback away, and I live in Nashville, and I'm there, and I watch them lose for the most part, and the colors are slow. Everything about them right now is not. We have no hope. But and if you listen to how people describe Cam Ward, they say if he were to be drafted last year, same exact guy, he wouldn't be above Caleb, wouldn't be above Jaden, and you get down to like those, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix type guys. If he's not a transcendent quarterback that you could probably put your next 10 years on, and you are more than a quarterback away, why would you not try to get as many picks as you can from that and build toward the future? Because you're not going to be good next year either, which probably means you'll have another decent pick.
Yeah, the tricky part there is finding somebody to trade with, right? Because, I mean, there's not that many teams right now that I think are knocking doors down to pick a quarterback in this draft. Joe Shane just talked today at owners' meetings, and really, I mean, he doesn't like to give his hand away, but it really made it sound like they don't like the idea of a quarterback at 3. We know they just, everybody's just, made the mad dash to sign people. I just don't think this is a super strong group at the top. I mean, I don't dislike Cam Ward. I don't dislike Shedeur Sanders, but I think Cam is probably the one guy that I would feel okay about in the top 10. And you mentioned last year, like I think he would have been in that range with like Penix, Nix, McCarthy, somewhere in that mix. But like you said, not above any of the dudes at the top right there. So it's a gamble no matter what you do. And if you're not a quarterback away, it's really hard to justify it right now. So it's going to be hard for Tennessee to make that trade, I think, too, depending on everything going on. Unless somebody says, hey, we want to get Travis Hunter, we want to get Carter, whatever it may be, that could happen as well. But, we'll see how it goes.
Seeing a lot of mocks, it looks like Shedeur is falling, but not really for any reason. Where do you see him going if today the draft happened?
That's a good point. I don't know if he's falling necessarily, or if he's if water is leveling. I think people got a little excited, as they often do with quarterbacks, especially after last year when we saw that many guys go in the top 12. But I've thought all along Shedeur is a fringe first-round pick in this draft. It would not shock me if a team trades up into the bottom of the first to try to grab him. It wouldn't shock me if Pittsburgh, who just made a signing with Fields there, if Pittsburgh does it and says, hey, take a year, we'll see what happens and grow into it. The Jets could trade back up to the bottom of the first. The Giants could do the same thing if they wanted to. I just don't see him going in the top 10. I certainly don't see him going in the top 5. To me, he's a back half of the first round, top of the second round player.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.